Members of Congress have launched an investigation into Travis County's district attorney, accusing the Democrats' office of undermining public safety by shielding illegal aliens from immigration enforcement. This is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
We've made it halfway through the week. Thanks for making the Texas Minute part of your Wednesday. In a podcast that Democrats hoped voters would never hear, Senate candidate James Talarico told a transgender theologian exactly what he thinks about Christianity. We'll get to that story coming up. Congressional Republicans have launched an investigation into Travis County Attorney Jose Garza's handling of immigration-related cases. They're accusing his office of adopting policies that undermine public safety by shielding illegal aliens from immigration enforcement. In a letter obtained by Texas Scorecard, U.S. Representatives Jim Jordan, Tom McClintock, and Chip Roy are demanding records from Garza's office related to its interactions with federal immigration authorities and its treatment of non-citizen defendants. According to the lawmakers, Garza had pledged to, quote, protect immigrant communities and create policies that consider the immigration consequences of criminal charges and convictions. The House Judiciary Committee is seeking a broad range of records dating back to January 2021, including communications with immigration officials, policies related to the prosecution of non-U.S. citizens, training materials concerning immigration consequences, and communications with local law enforcement agencies regarding immigration enforcement. The U.S. House wants those documents by July 7th. A new University of Texas Politics Project poll finds Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton is now leading Democrat James Talarico by just 1 percentage point, 43% to 42%. Of course, a month ago, Talarico was leading by 8%. Among other things, the poll finds Republican voters have largely consolidated behind Paxton after he defeated incumbent John Cornyn in the May runoff. In other high-profile races, the GOP nominees for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general are leading their Democrat opponents by between 5 and 7%. In a newly resurfaced podcast, Democrat U.S. Senate candidate James Talarico argued that Christianity could be co-opted to serve as a powerful vehicle for advancing left-wing political change because many Americans already identify with the faith. For example, here's what he had to say about his thoughts on Christianity.
Yeah, and that's, I always think of myself as a Christian who hates Christianity,
Yep.
Right?
Now, that's among the more tame things Talarico said during his 2021 appearance on the Activist Theology podcast, hosted by a transgender theologian who advocates for so-called queer theology. It's just disgusting. The Texas Minute will be right back.
What are the important things out there in Texas politics and Texas news that matter to you, and what can you do about it? That's what we want to bring you with the Luke Macias Show on a weekly basis for 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can get the information and go do something for the rest of your week. I look forward to coming to you every Wednesday.
A lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of public beach closures during SpaceX flights has been dismissed by the Supreme Court of Texas. The court determined that only governmental actors can bring such lawsuits, not private entities. A coalition of left-wing environmental groups upset that beaches were closed during SpaceX launch windows had filed suit under the 2009 Open Beaches Amendment to the Texas Constitution. Legislation passed in 2013 had defined space flight activities as a legitimate reason for limiting access to beaches by counties within reasonable distance to a launch site on launch dates. Since then, Boca Chica Beach in Cameron County has reportedly been closed up to 450 hours per year. That's roughly 19 days out of 365 to allow SpaceX to safely conduct launch activities. The Texas Supreme Court unanimously dismissed the lawsuit, finding that the state and local government shoulder the burden of enforcing the Open Beaches Amendment and not private legal action. The justices did not address the extent to which government entities can close access to Texas beaches in the interest of public safety. You can keep up with the latest news impacting the Lone Star State by visiting TexasScorecard.com. If you enjoy the Texas Minute, please tell your friends and family about it. You can also give it a rating on your podcast app, click thumbs up on YouTube, and tap like on X. This edition was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons and Travis Morgan. I look forward to seeing you at around the Lone Star State. Now, go make it a great day.